Yeah. What's up? What's good? What's popping? What's cracking? What's percolating? What's really good in the hood? It is your man Theo Butler, otherwise known as your Wakandan Griot, coming to you live from what is going to be our last night. In that now that's what we've been told. That's what we've been told. So if you see me here tomorrow, things didn't work out as. But no, this is supposed to be the last night. Yeah. Shout out to the Comfort Inn. Yeah, making it do what it was doing while we were here and everything like that. Great show. See one that ain't enough to have some fun, but it is enough to let me know we didn't got some stuff done. Yeah. We here for a good time, not to be confused with a long time. We got a great show tonight. Shout out to my brother Daryl. Be Real with D Real just had his in-depth comic book review. Dive deep in and everything. Oh, I'm about to dive in. What? We don't get no R&B music no more. It's like they almost locked up all the R&B artists. B artists locked themselves up. Anyway, now tell them what's going on. We here. Yes, sir. We here. We here. Shout out to Plant Poppy. And shout out to all those who made tonight's show great before we even start. Like, shout out to Stephen A. Smith. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. I ain't got to be looking for you. You don't even know I exist here in this world, but you don't mind contributing to my content. You don't, and I want to thank you for that. Yeah. Whenever I'm struggling, Stephen A. Smith gonna pull on up. Somebody always want to be part of the show, don't they? Always want to be part of the show. Anyway, yeah, we got Stephen A. Smith plus Fox News equals irony. Because I just thought that was ironic that you would go on Fox News to defend yourself from the very same complaints that people. CBR cites Marvel's power couple coming to the MCU, except. Yeah. We're gonna definitely talk about that. Speaking of power couples, Toussaint or T'Challa, rumor versus fact. I wonder how much more, how many more subscribers we would have if I didn't give two damns about integrity and drama. Like if I just lied all the damn time, yeah, talked about folks. I wonder how many more people would be subscribed to the channel. Anyway, Inescapable. Black Panther's 60th anniversary is synonymous with. I mean, it's almost like you can't say one without the other, even though people would have you believe that. No, we're not going with that. Comic book day. What's next after Hickman's Secret Wars? This is some great coffee. Yeah. Also, speaking of Hickman's Secret Wars, stealing Shuri's a la T'Challa's Thunder. Why she should be a main protagonist in Secret Wars and Doomsday. All things considered, yeah. You know how folks like to say you ain't nothing but a T'Challa fan. Yeah, we're gonna dispel that one tonight again. Again, it ain't like we ain't been doing it. Yeah, y'all pull on up though. I see we got 4. I would love some more, but that's okay. Y'all walk through the door. Yeah, we're gonna make it do what it gonna do. Yes, Lord. I feel like coffee's from the gods, don't you? Don't you? Let me greet those that have shown on up though, because I was raised with some manners. I was. We got the Kamoyo King, president of the Black Panther fan group. We got my brother D Real that's in the building. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Now tell him says if you didn't care about integrity, you would be at 10K right now. Let me read that again. Now tell him says if you didn't care about integrity, you would be at 10K right now, because that seems to be the norm to gain followers. But speaking the truth, you're gonna ruffle some feathers. Boy, look here. Look here. You know what? One day I picture us on a panel, and I don't know which one of us is going to be playing the role of Charles Barkley, and which one of us is going to be playing the role of Shaquille O'Neal. But I just picture a panel one day of just comic book purists, and we just don't care. We don't care who the writer is. We don't care who the artist is. We don't care who doing the movie. We don't care. We just sitting there telling it like it is. And they be like, ooh, damn, y'all cutthroat with it. Yeah, 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 yeah. I kind of like playing the role of Charles Barkley because I like being the bad guy. I know you're like, wait a minute, Theo. No. I don't ever want to play the role of the good guy. That's too easy and expected. That said, let's go ahead and get into tonight's first topic, which, damn, like I don't even know how we get here. I don't. So Stephen A. Smith went on Fox News to respond to the NABJ, right, controversy, which has generated criticism precisely because of the platform he chose. Now, I just want us to take a look at Stephen A. Smith's greatest hits. In no uncertain order. No uncertain order. No certain order. We just throwing them out there. Defended Trump by comparing his prosecution to the racist persecution of Black historical figures. He did that. He want to say folks misquoted him. No, we didn't misquote you. He said folks took him out of. No, we didn't take you out of context. We sat there and listened, hoping you was not gonna say what you was saying, hoping you was gonna expound upon it. No, you just left that damn thing hanging right there. What else we got? Use the MAGA term lawfare to frame cases against Trump as politically motivated. You did that, big dog. Ain't nobody make you do that. You came out. You between you and your damn podcast. And when I say you, I mean First Take. You didn't let, boy, if loose lips sink ships had an image or a symbol that promoted it, it'd be you. Let me see. Argue Black voters should consider voting Republican. You did. You did. You did. You and Charlemagne the God. That's crazy. Y'all don't know how to quit. Let's see here. Said racism is not as prevalent as many claim. You know, I do live videos on TikTok every day, and it's more than one person, or one at the very least one committed person showing up every day calling me the N-word. I talk comic books. I talk action figures, and I get called the N-word every day. Every day. At the very least, every time I choose to do a live on TikTok. Now, Stephen A., you probably say, well, why don't you stop doing lives on TikTok? I can't do comic book lives on TikTok without being called the N-word. That's crazy. Let me keep going here. Defended Jerry Jones after the segregation photo resurfaced. I'm a football fan. You did that. Let's see here. Attack Jasmine Crockett for her criticism of Trump. Her criticism of Trump. You did that. You did. You did that. You did. You did. You did. You did that. Let's see here. Criticize Kamala Harris while giving Trump more grace during election season. You did that. You and Charlemagne the God, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, I don't want you to think you was out here by yourself. Like, that's the other thing. You had company, but you was out there. You was out there. Mm-hmm. Engaged in a public dispute with Joanne Reed. You did that. You did that. You sure did. Not on the phone. Not on the phone. Not DMing. Not let me get your phone number. Let me holler at you and everything like that. No. You know what? A strong argument could be made that for somebody who talks as aggressive as you do, you only talk as aggressive via social media or on somebody else's platform. Like you don't face like face to face. That's where I'm at with it. Like, now I ain't seen you enjoy face to face. Seen you and Kamala Harris face to face, and I ain't mad at Michelle. I ain't mad at Michelle Obama. I talk to you either. Swoops calling her take insane while defending Caitlin Clark. You did. You did. criticized Angel Reese over her clothing while praising Caitlin Clark's branding. You and Robert Griffin III. You did. Called her evil. Say she got evil intentions. Caitlin Clark. That's let me hear with Monica McNutt after she checked. And when I say I was following that happened. That defended ICE after the killing of Renee Good. You did. You did. It's crazy how many of y'all that ain't got no combat training, ain't been to not one damn police academy, suddenly become forensic experts when stuff like this happens here. Right? Damn thing. But you did. You did. Minimize systemic racism, calling it overstated. Did I just mention that I get called the N-word every day I do a live on TikTok? Every day. Not just the N-word, I get called a whole bunch of homophobic slurs. Yeah, imagine that. Appears frequently with Sean Hannity and echoed that. Damn, you was just on Sean Hannity, wasn't you? Like, how does that be one of the complaints, and yet that be where you go to defend yourself against said complaints? Was George Reed not available? Was Roland Martin not available? Let me guess. You want to kick the bobo with Jason Whitlock? Right. Ryan Clark could have did an interview on the damn pivot. Hold on. Let me keep going. Jason, Wiley, Marcellus Wiley, you could have been over there. Here we go. Theo, Friday Night Vibe with Theo and D-Real and Theo. You could have been there. Here we go. I don't even mention this dude's name, but I know. I'm just saying, like, it's so many of us as social media influencers you could have chose from. Where Sean Hannity, huh? You know what that remind me of? That remind me of Anthony Mackie going over to that other show to talk about how, he wasn't necessarily that person when it came to taking photos with fans. That's where you're going? That's where you're going to go. Okay, never mind. Let me keep up here. Praise Byron Donalds. I don't know who doing that. Despite Donald's praise of the Jim Crow. You did. You know what? It's crazy because you praised Byron Donald, and we got a dude that then use racial phrases. James Fishbank, whatever his damn name is. That dude don't like Byron Donald. That's crazy. That's what you thought, Byron Donald. That's crazy. Let me see here. Defended Trump against accusations of racism. You did. We don't remember the Central Park Five. Ain't you from New York? Let me keep going. Targets black male athletes more harshly than white owners and power figures. You did. I see one of the things that I'm upset with you about, Stephen A. Smith ain't on here, but I'll say that for last. Repeatedly defended white figures accused of racism. Did. Now let me throw the thing out there that really would really make me want to put my hands on somebody like this. I'm not a violent person, but there's a time and place. The comment that you made about veterans, active duty military, in regards to when it's not appropriate for us to follow a lawful order. Ooh. Don't ever be in front of me, Stephen A. Smith, because that's the first place I'm going. And if you say something you ain't got no business saying, on behalf of everybody that then took that oath, it's gonna go horrifically left. The Brotherhood of Journalists don't want us misspeaking on what their career entails, the sacrifices that they have to make. They don't. Pro athletes don't want us doing that. Way many, and mind you, none of y'all trained to do what we go. Once again, ain't none of y'all been trained to do what we've been trained to do. Yet you feel so comfortable speaking so matter-of-factly about an organization you chose not to partake of. ooh, 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 ooh. And I can tell you ain't spoke to not one veteran. You ain't spoke to not one veteran because blanked out again. That's who would have put the fear of God in you. That's who would have made you watch what come out your mouth going forward. An offended veteran. You ain't talked to us, but that's the thing. You never talk to the folks you offend. You don't believe that's a big deal. You low-key echo the sentiments of somebody else. You can say and do whatever you want to, and then when you get called out for it, you gonna cry like a girl. You're not we the same age as a man damn near in his 60s. You ain't got it within you to stand in front of the women who are saying you offended them. You ain't got it within you to stand in front of the people that say you misrepresenting and you offending us. You damn sure ain't got it to stand within front of a veteran and echo them same sentiments. Some, while they choose to call you one thing, I would say you're a coward. You're a coward. And you're an opportunist. You are. You're literally what's wrong with us as a people. The damnest thing is you not realizing that you owe black folks, you owe us to a degree for your success. Because while nobody else was checking for you, we were checking for you. Like we check for all the black journalists, sports figures that show up on ESPN. We were cheering for you. We were rooting for you. But you know what? Max wasn't wrong. Max Kellerman wasn't wrong. He was absolutely right. And saying you got mother, you got a mama, you got sisters, you got a daughter, that don't prevent you from being a misogynist. You're not stupid. Don't you have a college education? Do you realize one has nothing to do with the other? One has nothing to do with the other. You're not stupid. You didn't get as far as you are by being idiotic. So why would you suggest just because you got a mama, that means you can't be misogynistic? That don't mean anything, brother. You know what? Actions speak louder than words. You got a track record. You got a track record. And the fact that you went running to Sean Hannity when your peers told you you had sold out the very same damn folk you look like, you went running to Sean Hannity. You know who you didn't go to run into? CNBC. No, you ain't go running there. You ain't go, you to Roland Martin. You didn't run to Jamel Hill. No. You went running to Sean Hannity. You didn't go to Don Lemon. You went to Sean Hannity. When did we start giving a damn about what Sean Hannity got to say? Like, do we care about Sean Hannity's opinions about anything, let alone us as a people? No, we don't. And that's where you went to get your defense. You know what? You should have been able to stand on your own square. Don't you have a podcast? Or was it you were on your podcast and you weren't getting the responses that you felt like you should have got? Make better decisions. Stand for something instead of falling for any damn thing. That's a problem with way too many of y'all today. Y'all want to get out there and bump y'all gums. Oh, I got enough money now. I ain't got to worry about being black no more. I got enough green. Okay, sound good. But then you want to get in your feelings when, because you see more green than black, you didn't chose green over black. Now you want to get in your feelings because somebody calling you out for that. Black, ironically. Don't get in your feelings. That was a conscious decision you made. And everybody got a right to make the decisions that they want, right? Amen, amen. But there are repercussions and consequences to every decision. Right. Seem like your agent didn't tell you this might be coming. And the crazy, the folks that they lumping you in with, the blacks that they lumping you in with, as far as saying this is what it looks like. You know what? Y'all going on over there. Like, you know what? We ain't even mad. Going on over there. We don't know. We don't care about what you got to say. We don't care what you got to do. We don't. Going on over there. You take you and your crew to get along game. Y'all going on over there. We're not gonna miss you. Whatever you got to say about us, and sticks and stones. Yeah, right. Let me keep up. We got my brother D-Real. I'm still about to cut my lawn listening in. That's what's up. Racist and nerd, the two don't go together. Shouldn't. Yeah, absolutely shouldn't. Absolutely should. Moving right along, though, because we ain't gonna be talking about that dude for long. No, we're gonna leave him right back there with his hairline. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna leave him right there in the back with his hairline. We're gonna stay up here to the front, moving right along. Our next topic of discussion. And I wasn't gonna stay there all day. So what? Not 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 talking about Steven from Django. I ain't know that was Steven from Django. I thought it was Stephen A. Smith. I ain't know it from Django. Candyland. Damn. But you know what? They both got similar hairlines though, don't they? No man, stop. That's being mean. CBR cites Marvel power couple coming to the MCU. I saw this and I was like, you know what? I I I used to watch 60 Minutes back in the day. I did. I did. And I've lived in New York. I lived in New York long enough to where, you know, I used to read the New York Daily News, right? I did. I did. I read the New York Post. I did. I was a sports fan. Used to love how they had their sports images, always a huge back page and everything like that. I did, man. I used to. When folks said journalistic integrity back in the day, that just meant something to me. I'm like, oh, so y'all gonna get to the truth? Y'all gonna? I miss that. I miss that. Now it's like we just can't tell the truth. We got to pick a side. What's wrong with just telling the truth? What's wrong? Like, what are we doing? What are we? And I don't even know when we started playing with the English language like that. Like, red mean red. Now I understand red come in different and darker and lighter shades of red, but red mean red. If you tell me it's raining outside, I don't want to take a guess as to what you meant. I just want to get the umbrella. You know what I'm saying? But now you got it where you could tell somebody it's raining outside and they could walk outside and it not be raining. And you be like, well, it was just sprinkling a little bit ago. That's not rain. That's not rain. It's sprinkling outside. That's what that is. So we get this article from CBA, and I just put it down for the crown so y'all can read it and everything like that right there. And I'm gonna take the opportunity to go over it. And it says Marvel has finally set up Marvel has finally set up its greatest power couples MCU introduction. That's what it said. I didn't by Jordan Ikabuchi, IACOBUCCI, August 18th, 4 p.m. Now, you know, I don't know what's going on with Mr. Ikabuchi. Ikabuchi got a receding hairline. I don't want to say that's a recurring thing because I don't necessarily know what that means anything. But Mr. Ikabuchi got a receding hairline. And does anybody know what CBR stand for? Let me see something. Is it comic book something? That's why I can't get no job working at places like Screen Rant and CBR because I ain't gonna just do all this. I'm like, no, I ain't just gonna say that. Let me see. What does CBR stand for? What does CBR stand for in comics? Let me see right here. Okay. Comic book, no. CBR website. Comic book resources. Okay. So you comic book resources. You say, see, that means something. See, this word, we don't do right with our words no more. The comic book resources. Okay. If we say in comic book resource, Lord have mercy, Jesus, I don't be wanting to do this right here because I know what I want, and what I wanted was for T'Challa and Aurora to be a power couple. But if we being honest, transparent, pun intended, the power couple at Marvel is Reed and Sue. It ain't even Jean and Scott. It ain't the big dog. I know, right? It ain't even Jean and Scott. The power couple is Reed and Sue. We just saw the power couple last year, Fantastic Four, First Steps. We didn't? Didn't they have a kid? That's the power couple. You got folks don't even like the union of Aurora and T'Challa. That can't be the power couple because don't nobody complain about Sue and Reed. My bad. Don't nobody complain about Sue and Reed. Don't nobody complain about Jean and Scott. Don't nobody well, I'm not gonna say that because I know I complain about another couple, but nobody complains about Sue and Reed. You go on social media any day of the week, any day, any time of the day, and get a complaint about T'Challa and Aurora. Like it's folks dead set against that relationship. So for that alone, that can. But who is the power couple we talking about in the MCU? Because T'Challa is in this photo, but T'Challa is no longer in the MCU. Unless I'm missing something. I know I'm blind in one eye and I can't see out the other one. And I know I'm getting a little older, so my memory don't work like it used to. But I could have swore folks said on December 10th, 2020, T'Challa was done in the MCU. And I could have swore that sentiment, that statement has been regurgitated over. I done heard some folks say T'Challa dead, get over it. Okay, well, if T'Challa dead in the MCU, then the power couple that never existed in Marvel Comics, let's just go ahead and say they were never considered a power couple, not by the powers that be. That's not the power couple. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Like, because if we're talking about T'Challa and Storm, the question becomes, is Marvel Studios actually adapting the relationship, or are they borrowing the recognition of the relationship without adapting the circumstances that made it work? Like, are we going to put T'Challa and Aurora in the MCU, or are we just borrowing, taking from T'Challa to make Toussaint relevant with Aurora? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Y'all help me out. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I'm lost. I'm lost in the sauce. I ain't lying. I'm trying to see what's really, really good in the hood. And I'm telling you, I got glasses on, I got binoculars on, I got night vision goggles on. I can't see. I'm so lost. I'm so lost. I don't know what's going on. You say comic book resources? Because I could have sworn I could pull up an article right now from Comic Book Resources, CBR, where they talking about Chris Claremont is talking about why Aurora and T'Challa should have never been together in the first damn place. I know I've got that from y'all. I do. And if I got that from y'all, then y'all know, CBR, that more than enough folk, whether they've been editors, whether they've been writers, whether they've been artists, working for Marvel Comics, ain't never gave two damns about the relationship between Aurora and T'Challa. We see that when we go to social media, when folks say ignorantly and or stupidly enough that the relationship between T'Challa and Aurora scene 4. Some folks will even throw in that retcon nonsense as if that invalidates the relationship. Meanwhile, they calling themselves nerds, but exposing to the fact that they not really nerds like that, because if they were, they would know that more often than not, with characters that aren't characters of color, their mate pops up in the same comic book, if not the same damn issue they done popped up in. And we don't get that with characters of color. We know that. Any nerd knows that, because honestly, it ain't that hard to research. It ain't. It took me just having a thought. That's all it took. It took me just having a thought. That little photo that I put up there with the relationships and when all them characters debuted, I did that in less than 30 minutes. From the time the thought hit my mind to the time I was able to save it as a picture. You know what I had to rely on? The knowledge. That's why I say I miss 60 Minutes. Ooh, I miss Barbara Walters. I miss Dan Rather. I miss Walter Cronkite. I do. Ooh, I miss that. I miss the ching, 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 ching. The minutes ticking off and everything. I miss that, because journalism used to mean something. Now, you got a whole bunch of people, myself included, because I got to throw me in here, posing as journalists. I've never called myself a journalist. However, I do believe in getting the story accurate. If we gonna tell the story, get it accurate, right? So it got way too many folks calling themselves journalists that don't have any journalistic integrity. Way too many folks conducting themselves like journalists without having any journalistic integrity. Way too many folks reporting stories as if they're journalists with no journalistic integrity. Here's the thing, because we're used to reading, whether it's from a newspaper or whether it's from a website, and we've been conditioned to just accept all of that as journalism. No, it's not. Way too much of it is rumor, speculation, and innuendo. That's what that damn. It's like, really? The MCU is going to adapt the power couple. Even in that sentence, it's wrong. T'Challa and Aurora ain't ever been treated like the power couple over there. Stop the cap. Then you say they're gonna do it in the MCU. Ain't T'Challa dead? So we cannot be bringing that relationship over to the MCU. It's something different. Why we don't want T'Challa, but we want to keep using the T'Challa brand? That's what it is. We don't want to see T'Challa. We don't like T'Challa. Don't give two damns about T'Challa. T'Challa is sleeping, swimming with the fishes. Then why we keep relating back to T'Challa? You know what? Damnest thing. I saw a video today where they were talking about the upcoming Black Panther 3 movie. If you listen closely, when they talk about Black Panther 3, you're going to be wild at how many times they keep referencing T'Challa. Toussaint, T'Challa's son. Nakia, the mother of T'Challa's child. Akibe, T'Challa showed up in Black Panther. T'Challa villain. They going to keep referencing T'Challa. Meanwhile, what we like to say, the quickest way to kill a man's legacy is to stop telling his story. That's the damnest thing. They going above and beyond to stop telling T'Challa stories. This is when that hurt come in. I don't know if I've heard the person that said the quickest way to kill a man's story is to kill a man's legacy is to stop telling his story. I can't necessarily say for sure the person that I got that from has made it a priority to keep that character's stories front and center to preserve their legacy. Because at that point, it ain't up to the MCU now, is it? I said T'Challa was my favorite character. If I know they don't give two damns, do I just chalk up the deuces? Or do I say, well, since you're not going to do it, I'll do it? Because you don't care. I'm saying that's my favorite character. You didn't say that was your favorite character. You said for folks to love Wakanda, they needed to love T'Challa. Just for us to realize you didn't give two damns about T'Challa. Meanwhile, I said T'Challa Black Panther is my favorite character. So do I move like the MCU or do I move like T'Challa is my favorite character? I ain't asking, I'm just asking. Let me keep up with these notes and then we're gonna keep coming back. Kamoyo says that you nailed it exactly. Now tell him, say it's crazy. I see how people are so dismissive of T'Challa, but can't talk about nobody but T'Challa. I'm so confused with this logic. Hey man. Oh man. They want him gone so bad, but don't understand you don't have a Black Panther franchise without T'Challa. Oh man. It's like Winston Duke wouldn't even be able to play in Baku without T'Challa because there wouldn't be no M'Baku. Oh man. Like Letitia Wright wouldn't be able to play Shuri because there wouldn't be no Shuri without a T'Challa. Oh man. Kind of like somebody wouldn't receive no credit for directing or 1.3 million, even though we still got Victoria Alonso saying the writer that got all that credit didn't write that damn movie. Like that's out there. She said she didn't say writers. She said the hotshot writer that got the credit for writing Marvel's most successful solo movie didn't write that movie. Anyway, because I don't want to do that. But anyway, the writer, 1.3 billion. Oh man. You don't get that movie with 1.3 billion without T'Challa. You don't. You don't get that. So it's crazy how we don't want to mention T'Challa, but at 1.3 billion, he was the titular character. He was, to the point where there is a fan base that still talk about him as the titular character. Like we ain't gave up on him. So I ain't saying the character 60 years. 60. What does say? Now tell them 60 years of storytelling can't just disappear. How they plan on removing T'Challa when it's his story? When it's his story. What's going on, country boy? Country boy, long time no see. We see you in the building. Let's look at this thing real quick here. Because, you know, I'm a Black Panther fan. You're a Black Panther fan. So when Toussaint or T'Challa? Because let me go ahead. Shout out to Kamoyo King. He sent this to us. Because we starting to hear this in the weeds too. That John Davidson is not going to be playing T'Challa Jr. And let me just go ahead and say this. If nobody else respects black, you should. Say this one more time. If nobody else gonna respect black should respect black. Black should respect black. I hear quite a few of us saying stuff when it sounds sexy. You know what Nick Cannon says, culture vulture? It sounds sexy. Just for you to realize he don't know a damn thing, or at the very least, he lying about his knowledge when it comes to American history, which is also world history. So it's like, okay, well, Nick, you're a plant. You the plant that we're supposed to be looking at because you're going to sleep with all the women. You're going to be out there impregnating a whole bunch of women. And we're going to look past all that because you're a funny guy. That's what we're not going to realize, that you, to a degree, don't give a damn about the nuclear family. We're not even going to lock in like that. No, we're just going to say Nick Cannon is funny. While we being misled, hoodwinked, and led astray. We do this with quite a few people. We did this with Kanye West. We do this with folks like Charlamagne the God. We do. It sound good, and then they show us exactly who they are. Okay. T'Challa or Toussaint? Who is it? What we doing? Because we got folks saying John Davidson is playing T'Challa. If they ain't saying that, they saying he playing T'Challa Jr. We don't want to respect African culture. Like, we don't want to use this as a teachable moment. Those of us that are black, that's speaking out, not speaking out, but speaking about Black Panther 3, we don't want to get it right. We don't want to be the leaders of the new school. We don't want to tell folk, hey, this is Africa. It's not a second. It's not a junior. We don't want to let that be something we say every time we talk, because clearly we can't get it from Ryan Coogler. Clearly Kevin ain't black. I'm not Kevin do it. Damnest thing is, blanked out again, Winston Duke ain't from America. You like to think he say something. Hello, Lupita Nyong'o ain't from here. You like to think she say something. But since they're not, and we keep calling ourselves Black Panther fans, can we not be the ones that's going to say, hey, there's no such thing as junior. No such thing as second. Since we like quoting stuff from the movie and everything like that, especially when we say we don't do that here, can we start getting some memes generated when somebody said, is that T'Challa Jr.? We don't do that here. Is that Toussaint? Possibly. Is that T'Challa the second? We don't do that here. Can we get that? Those of us that want to come up, because we talking about Black Panther. Those of us that want to get rich, you know, get our clicks and views up and everything like that. How about we take the time when we say that's our favorite character to educate folks on terminology regarding our proper terminology regarding our favorite character? Can we do that? That's how you keep the lore, the legacy going, right? You want to make Toussaint relevant, right? Right? Then we can't have folks describing Toussaint improperly. No. We got to teach them from day one to get that right, don't we? That should be what our goal is. Because is he not going to be a Black Panther? Yeah. Then we don't want them getting it wrong. No, he's Toussaint. We don't do T'Challa Jr. We don't do T'Challa the second. That's Toussaint. Ain't no damn such thing as TJ. That's Toussaint. I can pronounce Krypton. I can pronounce Kal-El. I can learn all these damn customs from Star Wars and all these damn customs from Star Trek. Respect the real life custom. I'm respecting the made up customs y'all got going on. Amen. Amen. We can't do that. That'd be my first thing right there. There's no such thing as a junior. Well, I didn't know. You know now. So going forward, when you talk about Black Panther 3, you will be talking about Toussaint. Amen. Amen. You know what be nice? It'd be nice if our leaders made that part of their spiel. Whenever they talk about Black Panther 3, they don't say nothing about, especially the black ones, they don't say nothing about a TJ or T'Challa Jr. They should always be saying Toussaint, and they should use their platforms to educate people on why that's the proper terminology, the proper name for this child. If you're going to tell folks to go along with the movie, go ahead and educate them too. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. But if it is Toussaint, which it should be, because we killed off T'Challa in Black Panther 2, didn't we? Right. We gonna do T'Challa stories? Like, you know, here we go. I'm a comic book fan. You're a comic book fan. I'm a nerd. You're a nerd. We've been writing comic book stories ever since we first became comic book fans. We have. We know folks that have taken the same passion and desire that, hey, Zoe, what's going on? Hey, Lonnie, what's going on? Big Tony Cottrell, what's going on? We see y'all out there. Right. In essence, we met some writers, right? Joseph Illich, right? Jonathan Mayberry, right. We met some great folks. We have. So with that being said, these some creative dudes, huh? David Crownston, yeah. And these folks still writing stories to this day, ain't they? And yeah, man. Yeah, man. So in essence, what I'm saying is Ryan should be able to, Ryan, Kevin, or whosoever should be able to give us a Black Panther 3 story that's not T'Challa's story. We should be able to get an original because we got time. Ain't nobody started shooting nothing yet. Right? Folks still at the house. Right? We got enough time to write a story. We do. All you need to know, as Grand Madam Tara would say, you just need to know the hero's journey you want this character to go on. And this is good. This is some good real estate right here. Because Toussaint ain't got no hero's journey. So where you want him to start at and where you want him to end up at, it ain't got nothing to do with T'Challa. The most we need to hear about T'Challa is him going to the ancestral plane to meet T'Challa. That's it. That's it. But all this, I'm finna do. No, you don't need to do nothing that T'Challa done. You Toussaint. Yeah, David Johnson gets to write this right here. Yeah, whatever he do right here, this gonna be the characterization of Toussaint going forward. Yeah. He get to put his own stamp on this. He ain't gotta act like Chadwick Boseman. He ain't gotta act like T'Challa. No. Unless we want him to be T'Challa. Is that what we want? Is it T'Challa or Toussaint? No, especially with him having that Haitian name and everything like that. There's some writing up. His mama named him after that. But whoa. You say Nakia don't want him to be Black Panther? That's interesting. It's crazy. Y'all let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comment section. Do we want Toussaint to have his own stories, or do we not care? We could get T'Challa stories through Toussaint. Me, I'm thinking that's rhetorical. I'm thinking that's kind of redundant, because if we wanted T'Challa stories, 60 years worth of them, we should just kept T'Challa around. You know what I'm saying? Because we got Shuri now, and I ain't giving Shuri stories like I'm supposed to. I'm still waiting for her to go to Antarctic and kick the Bobo with Shannon the She-Devil. I got all these Spider-Man references in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I got Tarantula, I got Scorpion, I got Tombstone. I can't get me no Shannon the She-Devil. I can't get me no Zabu. I can't get me no Logan. Ain't Hugh Jackman still in the MCU? I can't get me no flashback scene with Shuri with Letitia Wright and Hugh Jackman. That's crazy. That's crazy. I can't get no flashback scene with Shuri and Scarlett Johansson. That's crazy. That's crazy. What about a scene with Shuri and Tom Holland? Because I think Tom Holland's Spider-Man met her brother T'Challa in Endgame. I can't get that either. Damn. I don't know. I can't get no Spider-Man, no Natasha Romanoff, no Wolverine, no Shannon the She-Devil, no Zabu. Damn. I can't get no Shuri. What about, can I get Shuri? Because I got the hand in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I can't get the Kingpin and Shuri and T'Challa. I can't get that. I can't get Lady Bullseye. Damn. T'Challa, Sam, Luke. No. Damn. No Typhoid Mary. I can't, because that's a Shuri story. I can't. What about her fighting Anubis? I can't get that. No, man. I can't get Sue and Aurora and Shuri fighting Anubis on behalf of Bass. I can't get that. What about Shuri taking on Proxima Midnight? Can I get that? Can I get Shuri leaping up in the air talking about Wakanda forever? Since that's what we be yelling. Wakanda, no. Well, what can I get in regards to Shuri? But while we talk about her falling in love with more. So, because see, in the comics, and I know folks keep telling me to go back, keep telling us to go back to the comics and everything. But to the comics, Shuri don't like Namor. You know what? Damn all that. Shuri don't like Namor. She was just, if Namor was on fire, Shuri wouldn't spit on this dude in the comics. And that's just because even though she know he wasn't directly involved, she don't care. I still feel like you had something to do with my brother getting attacked by Dr. Doom. Like, that's where she at. So in the MC, it's crazy how we be looking at us to forgive stuff, because T'Challa then already forgave the dude that deleted his daddy. So Shuri finna fall in love with the dude that deleted her mama. If you're gonna tell me that makes sense, then I'm gonna say you really didn't watch that cartoon that came out on BET. You didn't. You ain't watch that one. You couldn't have. I'm gonna go ahead and above and say you didn't watch. You didn't read the comic book Flags of Our Fathers. You didn't. You didn't. Them folks ain't read not one page or nothing that Karama Horn wrote. You haven't. Them Black Panthers don't play like that. the no-kill rule don't apply to none of them. It don't. And they don't mind. Like, you need to know they don't mind. And here we go. If we're to believe from the MCU standards that T'Chaka would delete his own flesh and blood in Jobu for just stealing. That's what he did. He deleted his own brother for stealing. We gonna really believe that they not gonna delete some? Claw got branded for stealing. So you got a brother that got deleted by his own brother for stealing. You got another dude got this big behind mark on his neck for stealing. We really don't believe, because Zemo ain't get a mark. Namor got his ankle wings clipped, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna grow back. Never mind. I don't be wanting to do this. I don't be wanting to do this. I don't be wanting to do it. Whoop. This ain't Wakanda. This will weaken. Because this a weak ass this a weak ass nation. I'm gonna keep up with the notes and I'm gonna transition. This a weak ass nation. This ain't Wakanda. This week no Wakanda. Wakanda. Because no, they not Wakanda. No, that's something else. That's something else. Kamoyo says speak on it. He says he's gonna go ride his bike. Toussaint from Now Tell Him says is an original character by Ryan Coogler. He should be free to do whatever he wants with his character. Amen. Let the church say amen. As long as it's not a story from T'Challa's comics. Amen. Amen. Let the church say amen. 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 Because if you him, you should be able to give me an original story. An original, compelling story. You should be, that's going to resonate with me as a comic book fan, as a nerd. Yeah. Because like I said, I'm not the one that's going to look at Toussaint crazy. I didn't convince people to give Toussaint a chance, right? But see, Toussaint is Toussaint. Not the Wakandan. He's a Wakandan, but Toussaint is Toussaint. We not finna get no. Y'all gonna tell some Toussaint stories. We'll rock with Toussaint, but give us some Toussaint stories. It's the same thing here. I can rock with Toussaint because we know this is the 1999, 99, 99. This ain't got a damn thing to do with the 616. But you got to give me some Toussaint stories. You got to give me some Toussaint. You got to give me some stories that make me feel good about Toussaint. Not T'Challa, Toussaint. Yeah, that's what that is right there. He says Toussaint needs his own stories because if you're going to give us T'Challa's story, might as well recast T'Challa. Once again, I tell him says T'Challa was trying to save Namor from Shuri's wrath in the comics, but when Shuri said we getting revenge, T'Challa said, "All right then, damn so did, damn so did." Like, I'm gonna try and talk to her. She ain't trying to hear it. She ain't trying to hear it. She wasn't trying to hear none of that. All right, let me see here. It's the project. Yeah, Kugler must hate Boseman. I don't know. What I will say when folks say that, and shout out to my agent for keeping me on the up and up. What I will say is this: there definitely seems to be some contradictions between what the actor was saying and what the director has practiced. There are some inconsistencies there. That's what I will say. I won't say he disliked that, dislike. No, what I will say is that there are definitely some inconsistencies in how they both view the IP and the character. So and that's easily shown. That's easily non-refutable. So I'm gonna say that I'm learning, Kamoyo. I'm learning. Keeping the party moving though. Keeping the party moving because we, like I said, we got a great today. Stay right here real quick. They were talking about in regards to T'Challa or Toussaint. It's especially important because current reporting isn't even describing Johnson as a straightforward replacement of Boseman's T'Challa. The Guardian reports him as playing Boseman's character's son, while other outlets have described that character as right. We don't use that. So your premise. So in essence, you got websites promoting different stuff, reporting different stuff. I would like to say to the MCU, you probably need to get a grasp on that. But then again, the MCU has publicly stated this is Toussaint. This is not T'Challa. I want to make sure I say that. While you do have a few outlets, Comicbook Cast has shown himself to be one of those people that will do what it takes to get you to like what he's saying and to go read, I'm gonna say to go watch the movies. That's not what we do here. The source is you. They're not saying he's playing T'Challa. He's playing an aged up Toussaint. So just want to clear that up. All right, number 4, Inescapable. Black Panther's 60th anniversary is also synonymous with T'Challa's 60th anniversary. I'm sorry. I don't. It's the damnedest thing to me for this to be the character's 60th anniversary, and on a stage where we get an announcement that we're doing Black Panther 3, we don't get an announcement that is also the character's 60th anniversary. I'm asking myself how many MCU fans that saw that segment know that it's T'Challa's 60th anniversary. Why we don't want to say that? The comic books have owned it. Maybe not in the way that we want them to, but the comic books, Marvel Comics has that this is T'Challa, the Black Panther's 60th anniversary. We get an announcement a few weeks ago. Kevin Feige, Ryan Coogler, David Johnson, Lisa Wright, Duke, and nobody even mentions it. Not one. Why is that? We can talk Black Panther 3. We can say we can announce the anniversary year, but not mention it's the character's 60th anniversary. Why not? Why not? Marvel's 60th anniversary special describes itself as a celebration of T'Challa's legacy. And what do we say? The quickest way to kill a man's legacy is to stop telling his story. The quickest way to kill a character's legacy is to stop telling his story. T'Challa Wakanda and 6 decades of the character, we don't even want to talk about. So the question I'm asking is, if Marvel can celebrate 60 years of Black Panther by explicitly centering T'Challa, why does acknowledging T'Challa sometimes become controversial among Black Panther fans? See, we down to 4. That's okay. That's okay. Bad weather. Bad weather. I get that. Which means neither of them know for sure. Exactly. Let me see. Erasure or anniversary. I'm trying to figure out how we doing it. Like I be trying to get folks to help me, help us. Erasure on his anniversary. That's what it sounds like. But how we doing that? Because his anniversary is Black Panther's anniversary, is T'Challa's 60th anniversary. Like Black Panther's 60th anniversary is T'Challa's 60th anniversary. That's what that is. The character who folks keep saying it's just a mantle, it is that character's 60th anniversary. So I'm trying to figure out why we can like Black Panther, but we got an issue with T'Challa. Low key, you wouldn't know Black Panther without T'Challa. You wouldn't know T'Challa without Black Panther. They're synonymous with one another. Like that is like Peter Parker is Spider-Man. You still got Ben Reilly. You still got Kane. You still got Miles Morales. But Peter, not to be confused with Peter Kyle, Peter Parker, him. We can talk Spider-Man all day and not be mad about Peter. We can wrap our arms around Miles and still accept Peter. We can wrap our arms around Peter and still accept Miles. Over here, you can damn near talk about every Black Panther under the sun. Soon as you mention T'Challa, it's going to be a segment of Black Panther fans mad at you for mentioning that dude's name. Why? It is his 60th anniversary. We don't want to celebrate it. You telling me we don't want to celebrate T'Challa's 60th anniversary because Chadwick Boseman passed in 2020? So please tell me that ain't what that is. Is it that we don't want to celebrate T'Challa's 60th anniversary because Kevin Feige walked to the stage and said we deleting the character? I thought we Black Panther fans. We don't want to celebrate T'Challa's 60th anniversary because Black Panther 2 is we could celebrate her when she gets 60 years, but how you gonna feel celebrating her 60th anniversary when she get it, but you ain't celebrate T'Challa's 60th anniversary? That ain't gonna make you sexist? I'm just asking questions. I'm just, and lo and behold, wait, watch this. Say Theo. No. Here we go. Just want to see something real quick. So, just so we clear, Shuri was created in 2005. We could have celebrated her 20th anniversary last year, 2025, because that's 20 years. That's 20 years. But now wait for it. Wait for it. Did Marvel Comics say anything about her 20th year anniversary? Because I'm old enough to remember us celebrating stuff 25 years, 50 years, 60 years, 10 years, stuff like that. Did Marvel Comics say anything about her 20th anniversary being last year? Would have been hard pressed to see it because she don't have no ongoing comic book. Neither does her brother. We did catch her in Black Panther in Imperium, written by Jonathan Hickman. That wasn't a Black Panther comic book, but it was there. And then we got the Black Panther Imperial one shot. She showed up there. And then we got Black Panther Intergalactic. She showed up there. But did any one of those talk about it was her 20th year in publication? No. How about you say you're a Shuri fan? Did you know? What about the actress that plays Shuri? She doing the videos, anything like that, highlighting that it was Shuri's 20th year anniversary? And how about the director? Did he? Shuri got some stories out there. You heard it from me. Did Shuri get a one shot last year? 20 years. Or is it that the only way we see Shuri is when we see T'Challa? Like in what was the name of that? What was the name of that comic book, baby, by Benjamin Percy? Oh, yeah. Predators versus Black Panther. We saw Shuri then. Got to see Sam Wilson too. Okoye. Didn't see Hunter. Damnest thing. When folks keep asking for when Ryan Gosling gonna be king, when Ryan Gosling gonna be the king of Wakanda, why Ryan Gosling can't be Hunter? I'm just asking. Let me keep up with these notes. We're gonna move right along. Because I'm just, I like Black Panthers. You like Black Panther, I like Black Panther. We're trying to figure out what's going on. So that's why we're not celebrating Black Panther's 60th anniversary, because that's T'Challa's 60th anniversary. We don't want to, even accidentally, we don't want to talk about T'Challa. We got an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. We're not gonna say nothing about T'Challa. We're not gonna say anything affiliated with T'Challa. That's crazy. We ain't gonna tell folks that it's a Black Panther action figure out there with an Infinity Gauntlet because that Black Panther is T'Challa. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let me see. They aren't Black Panther fans. You know what? Kamoyo, my agent, been telling me don't say stuff like that. Just ask questions. Because hey, who am I to question your fandom? I'm just asking some questions in relation to your fandom. Let me see. Lex Silver said maybe some think he's so good he doesn't fully need the attention. Let me see. Maybe some think he's so good that you saying they think David Johnson or Toussaint is so good because that's crazy. Gonna have to do something. Aren't Black Panther fans? Back to inconsistencies come from. I tell them Chadwick literally put his life on the line for 5 years to bring T'Challa. You can't say that. You can. That's an astute observation. You can make that statement. You can. And Kugler claims he loves us so much he's okay with killing off 5 years of hard work. Well, here's the thing. We all process grief differently. We do. I think that was the most politically correct answer I could give. We all process death differently and everything like that. So I wouldn't have went that route, right? And I'm pretty sure, based on the comments from Derek Bozeman, he wouldn't have went that route. But let folk tell it. Well, I definitely don't know Chadwick Bozeman. Right? We had a heavyset brother tell me I ain't know nothing about Chadwick Boseman. So I'm discredited off the rip because I never met him and there's no video footage of me interacting with the dude. But his brother, his brother, society, MCU fans went above and beyond to discredit his brother, but they love the actor so much. That was the damnedest thing to me. We love the actor so much, we're going to discredit anything the brother says about the actor. That's crazy. You talking about the dude that helped him with his homework? You talking about the dude that was in his life his whole entire life? You talking about the dude that helped cook for him too? You talking about the dude that went to his basketball games? You talking about the dude that went to his plays? Now I don't know how we do this one right here, but you talking about the pastor? Because I know pastors, some of them ain't right. But generally speaking, off the rip, we give pastors the benefit of the doubt. It's crazy how this pastor, man of God, we said, oh no, he lying. He don't know Chadwick. The cast and crew knew him better. Wow, it's crazy. Interesting. Let me see. Now Theo said, there you go, asking hard questions. I ain't saying, I'm just saying, but that's all I'm saying. I ain't saying too much. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So here we go. Next topic. It's comic book day in the US of A. Right? It is. What's next after Hickman's as in Jonathan? Secret Wars. Yeah, because we've been going hard and heavy and everything like that. I asked that question because I'm enjoying, and I ain't even started it yet. I think you will too. Where we go after Secret Wars number 9. I'm looking forward to the next chapter. I hope you are too. I mean, I'm excited about where we go from here, right? I've been very deliberate in how I've been reviewing Black Panther comic books, right? Didn't start from the origin spot, from the OG spot. I started right there, Deadliest of the Species. And we've been able to, during our current slate of comic book reviews, go back and pick up some OG stories when he first was created. And I didn't know we was going to actually be here, but we're actually at the end. We only got one more issue left of Secret Wars. That's number 9, right? Ironically enough, we got Doomsday, Marvel Comics. I'm going to say Marvel Studios coming out, right? And then we also got the Ultimates, which I think, you know, as a Black Panther fan, Blue Marvel fan, Monica Rambeau fan, I think we can say we like that. America Chavez, Carol Danvers. I like all them characters, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm interested. And let me share with you if I may. Because I didn't know this. Sue me. After we get done with this last issue of the Ultimates, right? The Gremlins back in. After we get done with this last issue of the Ultimates, we find out where Connor disappeared to, Connor Sims, right? I didn't know there was an Ultimates 2. Yeah. After Secret Wars. Ta-Nehisi Coates. We talk about it. I don't think we've ever jumped into it, though. We're going to jump into it. And we got 50 issues. 50. That's going to be beautiful. 50 issues. 25 current day, 25 intergalactic empire. We don't stop right there, though. Because we lost Shuri. We did. We lost Shuri back in Time Runs Out. We did. The Black Order pulled up, invaded Wakanda. Shuri gave Skybreaker to T'Challa, said put the blade where it belongs. Well, we jumping off into that Shuri 10-issue run. Yeah, we gonna get to see that beautiful young lady in the Dejalian. Yeah, we gonna get to meet the griot she gets trained by that looks a lot like her mother, Queen Mother Ramona. I am excited. I'm excited for what we're doing right now with the Avengers. We take stuff for granted. You read it once or twice when you was a kid. You don't spin back on it as an adult. To go back and read them stories and be like, wait a minute. So T'Challa was on the Avengers before the Vision? Yeah. Sure was. Those of us that talk about Captain America's kooky quartet, I said that's my favorite team of Avengers. Y'all have heard me say that before. But to know that T'Challa had his very own version of the kooky quartet, and they did some stuff, Masters of Evil, X-Men, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, Ultron, Division. That kooky quartet went through some stuff in less than 10 issues. Dr. Doom, Time Machine, that kooky quartet went through some stuff in less than 10 issues. My brother Dad was talking about my brother Darren was talking Tony today. Make me feel good. Well, Theo, what direction do you think they should go? Let me see here. Let me keep up with these notes. Only thing I can think of that people are trying to move on from Chadwick and move on to the newer stuff, which would make no sense. Why do I want to move on from Chadwick? Like, I didn't move on from George Reeves. We just recast the role. I didn't move on from Christopher Reeve. We just recast the role. We still remember Christopher Reeve. We still remember George Reeve. So if I and I don't, I keep saying it for a reason, because I'm hoping the person that needs to hear it will lock in. If the quickest way to kill a man and or a character's legacy is to stop telling their story, why would I want T'Challa stories to come to an end? Because whether we like it or not, believe it or not, because the actor did an amazing job portraying the character, every time we talk about T'Challa, we're going to remember Chadwick Boseman. What's wrong with that? I thought that was the whole point, keeping the actor's name alive. Because as long as we talk about T'Challa, no different than we talk about Clark Kent, we're going to keep George Reeves, Christopher Reeve's name alive and well. I don't remember the names of the folks that came before George Reeves, but that's because I wasn't born back then. I'm pretty sure there are those that do. Wesley Shipp is never going to go away as being the first live action Flash. I don't give a damn who else do it. We're not going to forget. And clearly the CW ain't going to let you forget. They literally brought the dude back as Jay Garrett. So this whole thing about, well, if we talk about T'Challa, we're going to eventually forget Chadwick. Never. Anybody saying that is telling you they didn't give two damns about Chadwick Boseman off the rip. Because I don't know, have we forgotten the James Bonds that we've seen? Whether they alive or not. Who did Pierce Brosnan make us forget as James Bond? Whether we remember their names or not, I'm sitting up here looking at the very least 2 different James Bonds before, no 3, before Pierce Brosnan ever got the role. Okay, we know that. We know that. So anybody else making a statement to the contrary is lying their ass off. They're lying for no damn reason whatsoever. Here we go. And this is the lie right here. Ryan Coogler directed what movie with Michael B. Jordan? Did we forget Carl Weathers played Creed? Did we forget Carl Weathers was the OG? You can say Adonis all you want to. It's Apollo. It's Apollo. Did we forget Carl Weathers? No, we did not forget Carl Weathers. Michael B. Jordan ain't Carl Weathers. He ain't going to replace Carl. I couldn't give a damn if he played Apollo Creed. Michael B. Jordan, in as great a shape as he is, can do absolutely nothing to make somebody forget the great work that Carl Weathers did playing Apollo Creed. There's absolutely nothing another actor can do to make us forget the great work that Chadwick Boseman did. Anybody saying that really is saying at the end of the day, Chadwick can be easily replaced. That's what they're saying. They don't want to say that. No, that's exactly what you're saying. Ain't nobody ever forget. You can recast Brian O'Connor right now in the Fast and Furious. No Fast and Furious fan is gonna forget Paul Walker played that role. We all know it. So that nonsense that we've been hearing since 2020 ain't been nothing but a bunch of BS. Did Harrison Ford play Thunderbolt Ross? Yep. Who forgot that was William Ford? I'm sorry, Harrison Ford, William Hurt. Who forgot that was William Hurt? Who forgot the other dude that played Thunderbolt Ross? Sam Elliott? Who forgot? We ain't never damn forgot. That's folks trying us as a people. And I'm so sad to say more than enough of us went along with it. Why? Because we had some of us telling us to go along with it. You can't let come out your mouth the quickest way to kill a man's legacy is to stop telling his stories, and then you co-sign with not telling his stories. You co-signed it. You co-signed it. I don't know what you want me to do with that one. You made a statement. You didn't know who you was talking to when you made that statement. Didn't know who was listening. Veterans. Okay, well, as a veteran, I don't just give up. No, we stay in the fight, and we understand as veterans, as prior active duty, it ain't the battle we're concerned about winning. It's the war. And you win some and you lose some. But in the grand scheme of things, in this war that Black Panther fans have been waging against the machine that calls itself Marvel, okay, well, you got Black Panther too, but you didn't get it for what you wanted. You got your Eyes of Wakanda. It ain't get you what you wanted either. You tried them 2 video games. That didn't work. Okay, well, you gonna try Black Panther 3. I've started calling it Ryan Coogler 3, but we know trilogies. That third movie ain't ever as good as them first 2 movies. Historically speaking, that's the worst one. You're gonna need a lot of money for inflation to get this movie going. You're gonna bring in Denzel Washington, thinking he gonna save you. Probably bring back Michael B. Jordan and Angela Bassett. The effed up part of this is that you're relying on T'Challa's story to push this story. See, you bringing in Aurora. That ain't Toussaint's wife. That's T'Challa's wife. And folks gonna see through the foolishness. Might not see it now, but they eventually will. I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you on behalf of all the Black Panther fans. We gonna hurt you. We gonna show you stop playing with us. We gonna show you it don't matter who you got talking for you that look like us. We gonna hurt you. We gonna hurt you in ways you ain't never felt hurt before. And you're not gonna be able to say we're not fans of the character, nor the characters as to why we hurt you. No, see what you did? You made the dumbest thing, you made the biggest mistake you could have made. The worst thing you could have done was mention Black Panther 3 and somebody like me and Daryl was sitting out here. You made a mistake. You should have kept Black Panther 3 close to the vest, because nobody at Marvel Studios has demonstrated, whether they're the cast, crew, writer, executive, that they care more about these characters than me and my brother. You ain't demonstrated it. What you've been hoping and praying is that folks don't come around and know we out here. Well, the more you keep talking about Black Panther 3, the more you keep putting a spotlight on that character, the more light you keep shining on us. And I want to say thank you. On behalf of every Black Panther fan, I want to say thank you. And contrary to popular belief, on behalf of every Chadwick Boseman fan, I want to say thank you. We're going to hurt you. It's not going to be with an argument. It's not going to be with a debate. It's going to be the way we've been doing it. You don't know this character. You don't care for this character. You don't have passion for this character. Well, there are those that do. And you know where they finna start going? To those that know the character, care for the character, and have compassion for the character. They're not going to be bothered with the MCU. If somebody's been rocking with me and Daryl, the MCU ain't done for nobody in Black Panther lore what me and my brother have been doing for Black. What year is it? 2026? 4 years. And I can say with the utmost confidence, in 4 years time frame, nobody at Marvel Comics nor Marvel Studios has done what we've been doing to keep the character's legacy alive by continuing to tell his stories. We're going to hurt you. Play with it if you want to. Let me see. So I don't know why they would want to move on, Lex. There you go, asking there. That's the direction that I would go, would be a reboot. Reboot it. You already admitting you got it wrong by having to bring in a male lead. If you would have thought you were going to get it right with Letitia Wright, you would have told Shuri stories. No, what you understood was you lost the Black male as a fan. And you're not even respecting the black male as a fan because you think the black male can be easily duped in regards to accepting Toussaint. So in essence, what you're saying is, this is how I'm taking it. So you don't think black men want to be married to the mothers of their children? That's as you said it. Subconsciously, we don't want to be married to the mothers of our children. We just want to name the son, the boy after us and go about our business. Duck her off in some remote country, not even bring her back to our mama, our sister, and have a royal family. That's what you pushing. Every black man not gonna be that simple minded. I'm sorry. We don't think like that. Just like we don't refer to ourselves as the N-word. Men. We don't. You can either call us by a name, you can use that made up race if you want to, or you can use our nationality, right? Or just call us by a name, right? But that whole we don't support that nonsense. We don't. You're bad. What's going on, Loki Chaos? What's going on? What's going on? Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. We in here. Y'all give it a one time, Loki Chaos. I think that's my brother from TikTok and everything like that. Good dude and everything like that. Yo, Theo, if you could pick what hero or heroes do you think could show up to help Wakanda in the upcoming movies they could make? None of. For me to endorse the MCU, there's got to be some changes. For me to want the MCU to do anything in regards to characters of color, there have to be some changes made. Because while there are some more than enough people willing to come out and say the MCU is this, the MCU is that, I actually got the receipts to what the MCU actually is. So to me, I don't want the MCU doing nothing. Because the first thing I think about are characters of color. I don't want you doing nothing with a character of color because you've shown me historically you ain't gonna do right. You're not. And so in regards to Wakanda, I don't want them doing nothing Wakanda related. I really wish Ryan would leave. Or I wish Kevin would have the testicular fortitude to say, you're done. Or I wish somebody that should be tired of looking at the MCU losing money that sits on the board of directors would say, we're done with this. Not we're done with this as in we're done with characters of color. We're not going to sit here and keep accepting these L's. They see the message boards. They see the message boards. Black Panther 3 was a brother who has heard and seen the concerns saying to a fan base, I don't give a damn. And that's the same fan base that put 1.3 in his pockets. Well, if you don't give a damn, I don't either. And here's why. I ain't got no pictures of nobody else reading no Black Panther comic book except for Chadwick Boseman. Well, Chadwick Boseman's no longer a part of the franchise. The character that he portrayed is no longer part of the franchise. Well, guess what? I don't consider the franchise relevant in the MCU. Let me see here. Now tell him says Ultimate 2 is where T'Challa reveals Shadow Combat. We finna get it. We got one more issue of the Ultimates, and then we off over there to the Ultimates too. Loki says Chadwick is the reason we got BP1 the way we got it. Amen. 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 We don't talk about that a lot enough. Folks keep wanting to say this, that, then the third. Oh, no. If we doing this for Chadwick, let's talk about what Chadwick did for the IP. If we doing this for Chadwick, but we're not doing this for Chadwick, and we know that. Facts, honoring by erasure is not honor, not at all. Lex Silver says, trying to forget about a legend like Chadwick is trying to forget about Stan Lee or Jack Kirby. Did Kevin Feige make somebody forget Stan Lee and Jack Kirby? No. He can try calling the 1999, the 616. You know why we not going to do that? Because that is so disrespectful to Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And the fact that you're going to sit up there and try and impede on the greatness that they've already established tells us about you already. No, you the 1999, 99, 99. Ain't that Ilani? What Ilani said? She don't give two damn what you said. It might be why we ain't getting no Miss Marvel. Might be why we ain't getting no. Meanwhile, she writing comic books, but we'll start to think we might not be getting no Miss Marvel because she didn't told that dude he don't know what the hell he talk about. Right. Another grand example: Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. Yep. We will never forget Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. We're not going to forget. Here we go. We see the Lanterns the other night. We saw Hal Jordan. Yeah. No, I ain't mentioned John Stewart. Did we forget Ryan Reynolds played Hal Jordan? Did we forget that the dude that's currently playing Hal Jordan used to be the coach on Friday Night Lights? No, we didn't. No, we didn't. No, we did not. So like, when folks be saying stuff like that, I'm right there with you. I don't know what Hugh Jackman gonna always be. Ryan is always gonna be Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds will always be the first Hal Jordan. Right? Yeah, Ryan, you stuff. Ryan gonna always be the first Deadpool. And contrary to what Ryan wants us to remember, we're always going to remember the first Deadpool he played was in the Wolverine movie, whether he wants us to forget that or not. I know just because you do the little movie where you take that time machine, you didn't erase my memory. I'm gonna need one of the Men in Black neutralizers. You want me to forget Deadpool showed up in that first Wolverine movie? No, I ain't forgetting that. You want me to forget that Green Lantern movie? You're gonna need a neuralizer. just doing. No, we're not forgetting. Facts. Great catch, Loki. Great catch. Kamoyo says Spikey and Coogler have been on a tear since Stanley Chadwick left us. Amen. Yeah, they have. Denzel's salary is $20 million a picture. They ain't gonna get that back. That budget about to be high as Snoop and Willie Nelson in a spaceship. That's some good green. like, wait, Theo. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I can only imagine how high Snoop and Willie Nelson would be in a spaceship. Like, no, man, that ain't what this video about. Be Real said, yep, 4 years. 4 years, big bro. Black males are the loudest demo against Toussaint. There ain't nobody going for that. Folks keep trying to paint the picture that we irresponsible as adults. Folks keep trying to paint the picture that we're irresponsible as men. Folks keep trying to paint the picture that we're irresponsible as parents. Folks keep trying to paint the picture that we're irresponsible as husbands. You've been trying to keep painting that damn picture. You ain't realize it ain't gonna stick. Oh well. MCU been cooked a long time ago. That's how they moving. Let me see. Now tell him says, even Chadwick once said in a video that Aurora is T'Challa's wife. You mean to tell me Ryan Coogler didn't see the same video that I did? They don't care. They don't care, and that be the thing. And because, as I said before, nobody that's a comic book fan is asking them questions. Nobody that represents the fandom is interviewing them. You have people that represent such sites as CBR. That's not the comic book fan. Comic book cast. That's not the comic book fan. Jamel Hill. That's not the comic book fan. Even the movie reviewer, and I'm trying to be nice, but the movie reviewer is not the comic book fan because they're not asking questions from a comic book fan's perspective. They're asking questions from a Ryan Coogler fan perspective, a MCU fan perspective, a Anthony Mackie is my guest perspective. But there's nobody representing us asking them questions. That's why when people say, well, have you been to a Comic-Con yet? No, I haven't. Because I don't want to walk in as, for lack of better terminology, nobody. No. When I walk in and you see me, you know I represent the comic book fan. You see me walking up on you as the writer, director, editor, or artist. You already know who I'm coming for. I'm not going to glaze you unless you deserve it. I'm not going to criticize you unless you deserve it. But what I'm going to do all day, every day is twice on Sunday, it's going to come represent the fans. And this is the biggest reason why me and Daryl are what we're doing right now. Folks can say what they want to. They can. But I'm finna call it for the way I saw it. While me and Daryl were sitting on the outskirts, while folks can call themselves nerds, blurs, comic book this, comic book that, wasn't nobody out there representing us, the comic book fan. Because what they wanted to do was they wanted to be in front of the writer just to talk to the writer. They didn't want to represent the fan. They didn't want to talk to these writers, these creators, about the concerns of the fans. They just considered it enough to be in their presence. That's not enough for me. That's not enough for the people that spend money on comic books just for me to be in your presence. It ain't for me just to glaze you if I'm representing the comic book community. No, my responsibility is to ask you questions for the community. We don't get that. We still don't get it. Everybody want to be too busy trying to kiss somebody's. Never mind. If I'm on somebody's behind, I'm gonna kiss the comic book fans behind. Right? If I'm gonna glaze somebody, I'm gonna glaze the comic book community. Because if it wasn't for the comic book community, we wouldn't have no MCU nor no DCEU. So I'm gonna start. That's where my loyalty lie right there. That's what I'm gonna be. Spin it up. So yeah, he should have saw that. If T'Challa isn't relevant still in the franchise, then the MCU is lost. Been lost in the sauce. MCU been cooked a long time. Country Boy says, speaking of Green Lantern, come on back. I like that Country Boy. Yeah. And I don't know why. It's episode 1. Let it play out. I would ask this question. Do we really think James Gunn brought that dude in to portray Hal Jordan just for us to no longer see him after season 1? Like that's the thing that I would ask, because I know James Gunn is James Gunn, but we really think James Gunn gonna make that move? I'm gonna get rid of Hal Jordan. No, I'm gonna get now. I don't know. It could definitely be getting rid of Hal Jordan. I don't want to say that, but we don't remember Hal Jordan died in the comic books. And if Hal Jordan does happen to be dead in this series, okay, well, I'm sorry, I'm a comic book fan. We don't remember Hal dying in the comic book. I know it wasn't this way. I wasn't this way. But what happened when Hal died in the comic books? The folks that's losing their cookies. This is not the comic books. This is not a 1-for-1 adaptation. You like how I did that right there? No, so we able to take some liberties because we're not doing what occurred in the comic books. But hasn't Hal died in the comic books? And doesn't this Hal have gray hair? Yes, he does. Didn't Hal die in the comic books when he had gray hair? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. We might be getting ready to get rid of, we might not be getting ready to see Parallax. Might not. But does that mean we can't see the Spectrum? No, come on. And we see Justice League headquarters and everything. Your boy James Gunn got all those pictures on the mural and everything like that. And Hal Jordan been dead in the comic books. Didn't he come back as a Spectrum? Okay. So even if he is dead, let's see here. Kamoyo says Denzel only takes pay cuts for independent films. He gonna tax. I need all my change. I need that. You got 7 more episodes to go. Yeah, 7 more. 7 twice. Never mind. What's up, Beyonce? What's going on? I honestly don't like how they made Hal seem like the original GL when the original is John. Hold on, not so fast. The original GL would be Alan Scott, Earth 2. He would be the original Green Lantern. The Golden Age Green Lantern is Hal Jordan. That is the OG from Earth 1. It is Hal. It's Hal. It's Hal. Say, I know we might like some stuff, but I believe in accuracy. It's Hal. It ain't John. It ain't John. Now, I understand some folks might think John, if their first experience with Green Lantern was animated. I can get that. I can understand that. Justice League and everything like that. But no, it's Hal. Hal, Guy, John, Kyle. Then we get the sister, the young lady that was originally Power Ring, and then we get Simon Bass. So yeah. Oh, so what universe is the main DC universe? Comics. Yeah. James Gunn ain't doing what somebody else did. He not trying to act like the comics ain't the main universe. The comics, Earth 1 or Prime, Earth Prime, is the primary universe. It kind of makes sense, the whole passing on the mantle thing that's in the Lantern series. And they don't even do mantle. They don't do mantles. In the lore, which this ain't one for one, John got a ring, Hal got a ring, Guy got a ring, Simon Bass got a ring, Kyle got a ring, and I think that the young lady, Jessica Cruz, she got a ring. Ain't no passing, no, that don't work like that over there. You a police officer. The reason why Prime Earth has so many Earth-born Green Lanterns is because it's the center of the DC universe, so they should always have more than one. Even though with every other sector, they got 2 Green Lanterns. I think it's 32 sectors. Each sector it's either 32 or 36, 38, something like that. But each sector has 2 lanterns. They got their own rings. Yeah. Galactic Green Police, yes. That's it. That's it. As a matter of fact, shout out to Jeff Johns when he came through. The Green Lantern logo, that's not a logo. It's a badge. It's a badge. And you do not get that badge until you finish or graduate Green Lantern boot camp. I love that piece of lore from Jeff Johns and everything, making that the de facto badge. I just think that make all the sense in the world. But yeah. Joe Mullen is also a Green Lantern for Sector Green. For far, yeah, that's why they mention her. Bro, that's why they mention her, because she's the far sector. But yeah. But then again, she's a human Green Lantern. Then I didn't mention the Teen Lantern either. She's a Green Lantern. Hell, John sat up here and made his sister. His sister that passed away. John then sat up here and made his sister a self-sustaining green light construct. And she's low-key a damn Green Lantern. Then we got the Amazo android that took on Alan Scott's personality. So he's a Green Lantern. Matter of fact, I can't wait till we get our stuff out of storage. Damn it, I'm gonna put my Green Lantern ring on. Let me keep up. Spoiler, yeah, the bad guys are the Manhunter, yeah. That's why the mantle of the Batman story makes no sense. Or in Captain America, it's a job. You right. Kamoyo said a mantle is a calling, mostly along a royal lineage of some sort. Absolutely. That was just me using the word mantle. We move past. Yeah, we good. Man, I would love a Mazo and Nimrod to go at it. That'd be nice too. That'd be nice too. Moving right along. And I thank y'all so much for pulling up. I appreciate it. Y'all could have been anywhere else. Y'all pulled up here. Thank y'all so much. We rounding out. I did not think we was gonna be with it this long. Stealing Shuri's thunder. Last topic of this evening. Why she should be a main protagonist in Secret Wars. So we're gonna end this topic tonight, right? end it with this topic tonight, end the show with this topic tonight. We've been called out our names a great deal as Black Panther fans. We are. We have. But as Black Panther fans, we say we Black Panther fans. Folks like to think that just means T'Challa. No, we said we Black Panther fans. Just like when we say we're Batman fans. I don't think you feel like we just talking about Bruce when we say we Batman fans. If I say I'm a Spider-Man fan, I don't think you think I'm just talking about Peter. Same thing. When we say we're Black Panther fans, right? We're not just talking about T'Challa. Well, T'Challa got deleted. We can feel how we want to feel about that, right? The thing is, they deleted him. It is what it is, right? Okay. Well, I know somebody said I was stuck with a script without a leading actor. I don't know how you make that comment and say that out loud as a director, but you said it. Okay, well, that was 2021 when you made that statement. It's 2026. You should have some great stories, especially when you got the source material right there for the young lady, Letitia Wright. Clearly you don't, because we finna move to Toussaint. Me though, as a nerd, comic book fan, right? Black Panther fan. Somebody that's also a comic book reviewer who's currently reviewing Secret Wars, preceded by his review of Time Runs Out by Jonathan Hickman. While I might not agree, and I don't, with T'Challa being deleted and Shuri being in his stead, because I know what the writer, the creator of Shuri intended, right? If Shuri is to stand in for T'Challa in this event, this ain't no Thor movie. This ain't Steve Rogers movie. This is very much a Shuri and a Reed Richards movie, right? So we ain't got no T'Challa. So I'm not necessarily looking for the Wakanda Forever where she jumped in the air to put hands on Proxima Midnight. I am looking for her to do something with this raft, though. I'm looking for her to, in essence, be the T'Challa fill-in. Get that thunder. Keep the Black Panther legacy alive by continuing to tell the Black Panther story. Except we just gonna do it through his sister, Shuri. Yeah, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for Shuri at some point during Doomsday having a falling out with Namor. I am, because she's standing in for T'Challa. And while I ain't got to see Black Bolt do nothing, I do need a fill-in for Black Bolt. Maybe it could be Shang-Chi in the 10 Rings. And if you're a Black Panther fan, like I am, you know what I'm talking about. Because somebody is supposed to put Skybreaker where it belongs. Right? We don't stand in. I don't mind, but I need to see Shuri get, if it can't be T'Challa, getting his time in the sun for what he did in Time Runs Out in Secret War. His sister can definitely get his shine, so that Shuri fans can feel good seeing their character do some stuff. Yeah. We don't need her be no side character, because T'Challa wasn't. He wasn't. And when Secret Wars open up, I need to see Shuri and Namor inexplicably, because Namor didn't learn his lesson. Right. I need to see Shuri do something. She might not be able to wield the Infinity Gauntlet because we ain't using it. But I expect to see Shuri and Doom go dolo. So I expect to see Shuri putting hands on Doom. Not Steve, not Reed, not Dan, not Thor Odin's son, not Sam, not Sue, not Ben, not Johnny. Not Yelena. I don't know. Not John Walker. No. This Shuri's turn. I need to see Shuri soloing God Emperor Doom, just for God Emperor Doom to realize Shuri been using her king intellect to delay him this whole time. Yeah, I need Shuri to shine. I need, as a Black Panther fan, this movie ain't got nothing to do with Reed. I'm gonna say with Steve. I don't want to talk about Steve being the main protagonist. That ain't his role. It's Shuri's role, because she's taking the place of T'Challa in this story. Anything else is gonna have me in my feelings. And if you're a Black Panther fan, you should want that. You should want Shuri to show out. You should. You should want Shuri to show out. You should want Shuri to show out. You should. Having Shuri not show out, and this is the event for her to show out in. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Let me keep up here. Shuri got done wrong in the MCU. She did, Loki. Now Taylor says this is why comic movies should have followed comics as close as possible. It causes far too much confusion with fans. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. He says, Loki says BP2 was underwhelming, very much so, and my wife is still mad that I watched that. Shuri is as cooked as the rest of the MCU. I even see fake Shuri fans talking about how it was always a temporary role. Gee, I wonder where they got that from. We know where they didn't get it from. Woo, Secret War. Yes, sir. Loki, Secret War. Anime fans don't have this problem with anime and when it adapts to manga because it's damn near 1-for-1. Yes, it is. Loki says, so since we got a new Black Panther, do they plan on giving him the Infinity Gauntlet like in Secret Wars with Doomsday coming? Now, mind you, I ain't heard the baseball cap say nothing about no variant. And the same folks who saying he gonna be playing the role of actual T'Challa are the same folks that saying he gonna show up in Secret Wars. Me, I don't give credence to any of that until that dude walk to the stage. Like, I don't pay attention to nobody. Emergency awesome, everything. Because they're not credible when it comes to what this dude gonna say. I just want us all to remember these the same folks that was just recently telling us a few months ago Damson Idris was gonna be the new Black Panther. Meanwhile, me and Daryl never spoke on that. We like, how you feel about Damson Idris? I feel like I ain't got it from the dude that wear the baseball cap. And so until we get it from the dude that wear the baseball cap, like we get everything else, I'm not reporting on that. Everybody else ran with it. I'm not pressed. Let me see here. I need to see it too, because Black Panther and Namor did work together in Secret Wars. They did. They sure did. Thor Odin's son was, and gone during that time for real in the comic. Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who this is right here. What I know it for? I got Reed. I got Reed. I don't know what this is right here. What we looking at this for? Now, mind you, the damnest thing. So is Peter finna be the one who had his cheeseburger in his pocket? You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all what's gonna wind up happening over here with the Rock With Me Nation. Because one, shout out Jonathan Hickman for an amazing storyline. That Secret Wars, that Time Runs Out event was just priceless. But when you, and this is why we tell people that, hey, we got Wakanda at the house. But when we say we got Wakanda at the house, we got the Daily Bugle at the house. We got Avengers Mansion at the house. We got Avengers Tower at the house. Like, we got Great Mall at the house. Like, the only thing I think we ain't got is we ain't got Department H, because we ain't got them figures, right? But the fact that I know the Molecule Man don't really cost that much money. He don't. He don't. He don't. I could really do this my damn self and have more fun doing it. Like I really could, because all them other action figures, all them other characters, we got them sitting at the house. Like, this be the damnedest thing. We ain't ever got to tolerate what the MCU gonna give us, because we got the knowledge and we got the characters and we got the merch. That's why we be laughing. We don't really take stuff as hard as some other folks, but it's enough to have me sit up and say, you know what? I didn't see no value in the Molecule Man as an action figure, but damn it, I'm just gonna go ahead and get him now. I'm gonna go ahead and get him now, because man, y'all be doing some stuff. Let me see here. My brother Daryl says those guys are putting out information for likes and subs. Folks like them are not in it for the fans. Oh man. Loki said, for real, Black Panther, Reed, Namor, Peter, and Miles, Sue, Franklin, and his sister Scott, they all got a core role, and it did. See what you're saying? I had to do a retraction because the information just keeps flip-flopping so much. It does. It does. And that, I ain't gonna lie, like I said, that's why I speak to my agent. My agent be like, look here, big dog, let me holler at you real quick. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bop. Say it like this, say it like that. That's how you get more pop. Yeah, I can, because it do be flip-flopping. Now tell him, said Shuri and Namor about to be best friends. Her new Panther habit has more aquatic themes added to it, and I don't even know how to do that. Like, Theo, no. Because when we look at Black Panther, why didn't he choose the gold chain? Why didn't he choose that? Because it wasn't about style. It was about substance. Yet you get Shuri in Black Panther 2. And as a Black Panther, I thought your goal was to blend in, not be seen. She show up, and I'm like, so who didn't get the memo? No. Who didn't get the memo? Because even in the comic books, her costume, aside from the fur she wears around her neck, is black, no differently than her brothers. Who didn't get the damn memo? So she can't hide it all. Because we get T'Challa, right? They go get him. He supposed to be pulling up on the kill. Ain't he in a tree? He sit up there just like this right here. They look up. He do this right here. He's sitting in a tree. What's she finna hide at with all this damn gold? That's the spirit of the story right there. Even in something as casual as that, what Natelum says. What you say, Loki? Glinting in the dark? Yes. Even right there, somewhere between the 2018 movie and the 2022 movie, we lost our way in regards to what the IP was supposed to represent. We started doing our own damn thing, but makes sense. The guy who actually graduated with a degree in directing was no longer there. There we go. Listen, I'm out. This has been a great live. We at the 1 minute and 50, well, 1 hour, 1 minute and 50 seconds is too much. We are at the almost 2 hour mark. I think this is a great place. I want to thank everybody who pulled up tonight. I do. And I want to thank your comments. Say MM is a bomb, glinting in the dark. I want to say, man, thank y'all so much. Y'all pulled up, y'all interacted. We had some great conversations, some great discourse, everything like that. Yeah, thank you so much, Loki. See you next time as well, brother. Go see you on TikTok, absolutely. So this is it. We're Black Panther fans. We're not pressed to pick and choose. We respect each and every last one of them. That is what that is. If Toussaint is going to be the next Black Panther, to be relevant, he needs his own stories. That's the big thing about all these characters, all these Black Panthers. They got their own stories. It's disingenuous to sit up here and talk about this character is going to be taking on the stories of T'Challa. Then, damn it, what you're saying is you wanted T'Challa. You should be able to stand on that and not be talking in circles. That's what that is at the end of the day. But if you like Toussaint, you like Toussaint. This was not a video saying don't go see Black Panther 2. I say Black Panther 3. This was not a video bashing Toussaint or anything like that. This was a video full of some questions being asked for Black Panther fans, regardless of where they are from, whether they animated, live action, or the comics. This was very much a Black Panther video. Stephen A. Smith, your mouth, big dog. Your mouth. And I don't know if you suffering from short-term memory or whatever. You got a track record. The fact that you went to Sean Hannity to tell your side of the story, well, like I said, it's quite a few of us out here. You could have sat over there and talked with us. Hell, you said Ryan Clark is your boy, right? You went to bat for him when ESPN let him. You know you should have went at then? You should have went to the pit instead of Sean Hannity. Because don't none of us, two dams, dude, you went to go see, explain your story to. The fact that you went over there says way more than, and it ain't saying anything good. And this has been a blast, whether we get along or not, whether we agree or not. At the end of the day, we're supposed to be nerd, and I would like us to start hanging our hat on that and become unified. The next live I might do might be this question. I want us to think about it between now and then. What does it take for the Black Panther fan base to come together? What does that look like? Because I'm telling you right now, whether we are comic book fans, Black Panther, video game fans, Black Panther, animated fans, Black Panther, live action fans, Black Panther, we missing out on a lot of stuff because we're not united. We're missing out on a lot of stuff because we're not united. And you don't know, if you're not a comic book fan, you don't know how much Black Panther stuff you're missing out on, regardless of who that Black Panther is. You better start checking in with your comic book brothers and sisters, no differently than every other fan base checks in with their comic book brothers and sisters. That's how we know what we deserve. That's how we know what we're worth having. That's how we know what we can get. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Peace.